Well, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the show. It's Politi-tics on a Saturday night. I'm your host, late as ever, Jake Johnson, and joining me is the Banhammer.
Howdy, Untethered Live.
And Mr. Pickles. There he is, up there, hiding in the background. How is everybody? Sorry I'm late. We overslept.
It's Jake's fault.
It's my fault. I got up at 8, and I went back to sleep for 10 more minutes. And 10 minutes turned into 40 minutes. And I didn't hear the alarm go off again because I didn't snooze.
He turned it off instead of snoozing.
Yeah. So, but I'm here. I'll go late tonight just for the inconvenience. I apologize. It was a good nap, though. What can I say?
My subconscious was like, man, that's a long 10 minutes. And I rolled over, looked at the clock. I'm like, oh, crap, it's 1:45.
Yeah. Every now and then you jump up and run for the hills. That's all you can do. Who's with me? Who's first in chat? Judy's first in chat. She says, hey, Jake and Amanda. Hi, Judy. You get a gold star for being first. Kevin Bernard's here. What's up, my brother? Nice to see you. He says, hello, Jake, Amanda, and Judy. Debbie's here. She says, help her hand. Hi, Debbie. Kevin says, I was beginning to think we would be no podcast tonight. Sorry. I'm here. Dragging ass as usual. I'm here.
We made it.
Still can't see yet, and I'm still not awake, but I'm here. But I got a nice hot cup of coffee. Don't you have a cup with me? If so, go to the kitchen, pour yourself up a nice hot cup, and let's get it talking about CIA mask man. If you don't have a cup, you can get one in the description below. I recommend the first one. It is fantastic. It has my face on it. Also, like, subscribe, share, support, join, and super chats are available if you want to show a little love. If you want to give me a reason to get up in the morning, you can do that. CashApp $ Jake Johnson Band or PayPal.me/Jake Johnson Band, and I appreciate that greatly. And one last thing, if you want to hang out with us outside of the YouTubeverse, get to know us over there, see what we're doing when we're not here, go to Facebook.com/UntetheredLive chilling. The link is in the chat. Great place to hang out. And now, on with the show. A piece of greasy pizza for dinner, and I can still taste it in my mustache. Do what you will with that. Me thinks you protest too much. And Judy says, hey, Kevin. Kevin says, hello, Debbie. And Judy says, hey, Debbie. And Judy says, me too. I don't know what me too, but yeah, hashtag me too.
The gold, not having a podcast.
Oh, yeah. You were here.
Here's your gold star, Judy.
Kevin says, it says the show starts at 9:30. No, it starts at 9. I'm here.
Hi, Hamburger Hand, Judy, Kevin, and Debbie.
It better not say 9:30. It don't say anything now. It says live.
It don't matter. We're live now.
We're live now. It works. People roll in when they roll in, I guess. Judy says, is it on yet? Nothing here. It is now. Sorry, I'm getting all kinds of warnings. I don't know why my internet is so slow most of the time.
It's the rain.
It might be the rain.
We overslept. We're coming. Too much pizza tonight.
Mm-hmm. And Judy says, okay, we'll wait. I'm glad you did. I'm here. Debbie says, I knew it. Overindulging in pizza can make one really tired. Yes. Kevin says, sleep? Is that what they calling it these days? That's what they're calling the aftermath of the pizza, which is what they're calling it these days. Judy says, where does it say that, Kevin? Where does it say what? Judy says, yes, Kevin, I think so. That is what the kids are calling it these days. And Judy says, LOL. And Kevin says, Debbie, I got to get some of that sleep stuff. All I'm saying is you'll enjoy it. Amber's here. She says, good evening, friends, hearts. Hey, Amber. How are you? Nice to see you. Kevin says, hello, Amber. Debbie says, isn't that why you made friends with the neighbor's dog, Kevin? I don't think so. That would be weird.
Well, damn.
Take a bite out of crime.
I'm a gruff.
Amber says, big dog, hearts and diamonds. Kevin says, that dog runs too fast.
Supposed to hook his back legs in your boots and then he can't go nowhere.
That's a sheep trick. Amber says, roll call style, how are y'all? Blah. Nice to see you.
Yeah, blah.
Here's a link to the Facebook page if anybody wants to check it out.
Blah, Amber.
And Debbie says, I'm great, Amber. How are you? Judy says, hey, Amber. And good, Amber, you? Debbie says, gee whiz, how long does it take to get dressed?
Who said anything about getting dressed?
I'm not dressed. I just have a shirt on. I'm naked from the waist down. Just so you know.
I had to put my hair up in a ponytail.
It took that long to get out from the tangled up mess that we were in.
Right. And then, of course, I had to turn the coffee on. He's on his second pot of coffee today.
Amber says it's been very calm around here today. That's good. The weather is my kind of perfect. So
Yeah.
70 degrees and breezy.
Yeah, it's rained here all day. You know, we've stayed in bed. Perfect weather.
And that's right. Who says he's getting dressed tonight, says Kevin. Right. No dressing here. I never wear a dress on stream. Amber says, Debbie, that depends. How dressed? Question mark. Just dressed. Debbie says, what, you think they're getting in one more slice of pizza before the show? Well, if I were younger, yes. He better get dressed, says Judy.
Amber says, like Pooh Bear dressed. Yes, like Pooh Bear dressed. Just a shirt.
Yes.
Everything else hanging out.
Yes. Yes. Walmart dressed. No, I'm not wearing spandex. Or Mountain Dew pants. Judy says, LOL, Debbie. Amber says, or church dressed. No tie, no suit. Absolutely, totally different time frames of get ready. Yes, that's true. Debbie says, I'm Pooh Bear dressed. Oh, wow. Amber says, okay, 10 minutes. Here I am.
LOL. We were a mess. Had to fix hair and all.
Yeah, this doesn't come naturally. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Amber says, totally putting my hair in a ponytail. Me too.
May 3?
Amber says, see? Hang on, my chat jumped.
9 o'clock. Amber and all her smiley faces.
And
here we come.
Debbie says, and getting in one more slice of pizza, right, Amanda?
He can't hang that much.
I'm old, Debbie. I just threaten her, and that's about it. When the commercial comes on at Star Trek, when the commercial comes on, I'll threaten her, and then the commercial's over, and we're back to watching the show. That's about all I can do these days.
He's younger than me. He can't hang with me.
I'm not younger than you.
I mean, he's older than me. He can't hang with me. I'm younger than you.
I'm not younger than Methuselah, I think. Judy says, LOL, Amanda. Amber says, smiley, smiley. And Kevin says, hot sleep always messes up hair.
Yeah.
Amen. Debbie says, oh man, Amanda, TMI. Get a tissue. We don't need the details. Yeah, you do. You know you want them. Amber says, I just got the alert. Well, that's amazing. I just sent it out. So everything's late today. I'm sorry. I overslept.
It's a rainy day. Nothing better to do. And hi, UntetheredLive family. Yeah, I didn't do it all.
Debbie says, I'm not high, but I bet Amber is. Amber says, Debbie, I got a green apple vape today. I went to the vape store today. Sharing is caring, says Amber. Sharing is caring. I'm just saying Linda definitely shouldn't have any fresh baked biscuits. Why not? Are you saying that you shared your vape with Linda and she got the munchies and $8 biscuits? I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean. My Fert, welcome to the show. How are you doing? I'm on the 3rd pack of cigarettes today. Well, slow down. That's too many cigarettes. I'm only on my 2nd pack. Too many cigarettes. You'll be dead before you know it. Pace yourself. You'll get there eventually. Kevin says, Amanda sounds very happy. Must have been a damn good sleep. Jake has to give me some pointers one day. In, out, in, out, out, in, out, in, out. It's pretty much your left, right, in, out. Not hard.
Round and round, around and around, and bam, 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 bam.
Bam, 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 bam. Don't forget that. It's very important. Amber says, 3rd pack? Dude.
LOL, Kevin.
Amber says, how can you afford that? Holy crap. I know that's a lot of cigarettes. Linda Davis is here. She says, I forgot to say hi, y'all. Hi, all. Hi. How are you? I'm late. John Nugget's here. Kevin says, hello, Linda. John says, good evening, everyone. Good to see you all. Hey, John, good to see you too.
Hamburger out, we're hand, Linda.
Kevin says, hello, John. And Judy says, hey, Linda.
Hamburger helper hand, Nugget.
Big John Nugget in the house. Sorry. I've been stopped up all day. Finally got some good stuff. Not a sponsor of the show, but I'm a user. It's good stuff. Jake's voice is brought to you by Equate nasal spray. Good. Or something like that. Amber says, Nuggy, stars and hearts. Judy says, hey, Nugget, and don't stand up, Jake. Oh, don't worry. I won't. I can't. You know you want me to. But if I did, my camera might break. Amber says, y'all, he's Zoom call dressed. Pooh Bear style wins. Right on. Nugget says, shots fired near the White House again. Another wackadoodle. Yeah, no, I heard. I don't know if that's correlated to the assassin that tried to kill Ivanka this weekend, but
At her wedding.
somebody tried to kill Ivanka this weekend.
Or threatened to kill her.
They caught him, though.
Yeah.
Judy says, again, Nugget? Seems to be a pattern. Amber says, I saw that, Nugget. Hang on, my chat jumped. I saw that, Nugget. I've been so worried about you. Prayers. I knew if shit here goes down, it's probably worse over there. Judy says, ponytail here too. I'm an old lady, says Amber. I'm an old lady bun. Well, that's not really fair since a lot of young people wear buns. It used to be an old lady thing. Now it's a universal thing. It's wrap, pin.
My hair is too long and thick to put in a bun. It makes it too heavy unless I'm just getting in the shower and not washing my hair.
I've never once had a bun in my hair, and I don't ever intend to have one.
And I'll just wrap it up real quick and throw a hair tie over it, jump in the shower, and jump out. And as soon as I get out of the shower, it's coming down because it's killing my head by the time I'm done.
John says, I've had a headache all day. We've got a heat wave, and the pollen is really high. Same here, John. I've been stopped up all day because of the pollen here.
And now it rains, so the pollen will die down some, thank God.
Thank God. I haven't been able to breathe for 3 days. Been being a mouth breather for 3 days. I don't like it. Judy says, do you have air, Nugget? Well, if he didn't, he wouldn't be here very long. 3 minutes, I think. And then he would just and pass out. And that would be no more John. Oh, you mean air conditioning? Change a filter? I get where you're going. John says, Amber, I got all the windows open. Well, there's your problem there. All that pollen is going right into your nose. I've got all the windows closed and I still can't breathe. I thought it was just my glasses dirty, but it turns out it was my eyes.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that we're completely covered in trees, so...
Yeah, we got a lot of trees in my yard.
You can't hardly see out the sky without looking through a tree. We have one section that has a little bit of open clearing by the driveway, and that's it. The rest of it's all trees.
John says, yes, Judy, I have air. And Linda says, Judy, biscuits. Biscuits. Judy says, wasn't me, Linda. I don't know about the biscuits. Yeah, I think it was Amber that said you didn't have any biscuits left. And I wondered why. I postulated you might have gotten the munchies by some artificial way and eat all the biscuits. But again, it's Amber, so I don't know what she was talking about. Debbie says, careful, Linda. Be careful saying biscuits around Kevin. Linda says, oh, it was Amber. I just finished. No, I'm just confused. Yes. Judy says, that's okay, Linda. Linda says, young Walter, a.k.a. Davy, is at West Point. Nice. His cousin is graduating, so I'm house dog sitting for him. Nice. Congratulations to the West Point kids. That's a great school to go to. To be sure, he's going to turn into something big as a result of going to that school. I think just about everybody that goes there ends up being some kind of a leader or a high-powered individual. John says, we got nostril spray over here called Sudafed. It opens your airways. Yep, I have it right here. Except mine's called fast-acting nasal spray. Same thing, though. Got the same medicine in it. We also have Sudafed, but it's, $14 a bottle versus $4. So.
And over here, you got to show ID to buy Sudafed because they use it to make methamphetamine out of.
I don't think you have to buy this. You don't have to show it to buy that nose spray.
No, I don't know about the nose spray, but you do to buy the pills.
Yeah. Definitely. Who knew? If I'd have knew there was something good in Sudafed, I'd be taking it all along. But between the Sudafed and the goodie powders and the supplements, I'm well medicated and ready to rock and roll. And the pizza. Don't forget the pizza. That's just for the self-esteem. All right. We got some weird things going on in the country tonight. We had a man appear on Fox News wearing a CIA mask. Or did he? Tulsi Gabbard resigned from her position as the head of the DNI. And an assassin tried to take out Ivanka Trump and was thwarted. Discuss.
And another dump of UFO files.
Oh, and another dump of UFO files. Better than the last. From what I hear, I've not seen any, though. It's 4 pounds over here. Yep. What, the Sudafed? I think it's $8 or $14 over here. I can't remember which. There's 3 different versions of nose spray, 3 different price ranges. I get the cheapest one. The cheapest one that has the medicine in it.
The new UFO file dump, it shows them actually shooting them down this time and shows big groups of them together and all kinds of stuff.
Scary.
Uh-huh.
Any clearer images?
A little bit.
Amber says here in Kokomo, Aruba, Jamaica, ooh, I want to take it to Key Largo, Montego, baby, why don't we go? Sorry. About $25 for nose spray. Jesus. Debbie says, where am I? We have to have a prescription for Sudafed. Or where I am, we have to have a prescription for Sudafed. Yes. Here too. There is an over-the-counter version of it, but you have to have an ID to buy it.
And you're only allowed 3 12 pill boxes a month.
Yeah. But that's like Sudafed Light. It's not the real stuff. The real stuff you have to have a prescription for. Amber says, Linda Hart. Kind of makes you wonder about this free country we live in. How many things have regulations and rules attached. I've always wondered why it was any of their business what I put in my body. It's my body. I'm a sovereign citizen, right? Apparently not. Apparently, you are a corporation and you belong to a company called the United States of America. And the day you're born, they issue you a receipt for your birth called a birth certificate. That's what it is, a receipt. And it has a tax ID number on it. If you don't believe me, you can use your Social Security number for a tax ID number. Because it's the same thing. And as long as you're a part of that corporation, you will follow its rules. That's why. John says, looks like the police are going to arrest Andrew again for trafficking a woman over to him. Well, he deserves it. Those royals have been getting away with murder for way too long. It's by time they get knocked down a peg or two. I don't know what I'm talking about. Amber says, wasn't it supposed to stop the making of street drug? Yes.
Yes.
Called crystal meth.
Yes, they were using Sudafed and methamphetamine.
Yeah, Sudafed. But they can also use Red Devil Lye and several other things. Lithium from batteries. Red phosphor from matchsticks. None of those are kept behind closed doors, but the Sudafed, you can't get that. Also, acid of some kind, boric acid.
Well, yeah, Drano or something like that. Well, the match heads, they've changed the formula, so it's not the same anymore. Most of your batteries are not alkaline anymore; they're lithium. So they've gotten rid of the alkaline.
I said lithium batteries.
Yeah,
lithium is what they use to make shake and bake.
And then
shake and bake is where you put the chemicals in a Gatorade bottle and shake it and burp it and shake it and burp it until it turns into methamphetamines, which I know a little bit about. Not because I did a bunch of it, but not because of that, but because I read the Anarchist Cookbook and own a copy of it.
But yeah, now they use Drano and stuff like that.
Amber says, meth, I don't think it worked. It didn't. It just changed it. Now we have that Breaking Bad meth that makes you funny. We don't have crank anymore. Now we have blue meth and ice and all that good stuff that's not really good for you. Really not good for you.
None of it's good for you.
I did it one time and lost a full day and couldn't play guitar for a year because my finger went numb and would not come back. That's the kind of shit you don't want to touch. Robert Meth is back. All rise? No. I rise not, only for God. Hello, Robert. Nice to see you. John says, I'm on the hard stuff, multivitamins.
Right.
That is the hard stuff when you're past a certain age. Judy says that Andrew is a case. He is. Amber says, TF was that? What?
The F was that?
Was what? I missed it.
The all rise, probably.
Oh. I do not know, but court is not in session. And I'm already at my bench, so that wouldn't work anyway. But thank you for noticing.
And his riser wouldn't work right now anyway.
It's been bang to pieces. Something about something pizza sauce. Who is the new person? The old person, Robert. He's been here before. Debbie says, I buy Nasacort. It's like $15, but you use it once and it lasts for 24 hours. So worth it for me. And I have never had to use it more than twice. I just get one with a far out expiration date. I'll try it. Nasacort. I've never tried it before because it's expensive.
Yeah, I think you have tried. I got you Nasacort once. I think it's that eucalyptus stuff.
You got me Flonase.
Oh, Flonase. Yeah, I think it's the same kind of thing, though.
It's not. Kevin says, are you aware that the German troops were all hopped up on meth? It was called Pervitin. Yes, I was aware of that.
Uh-huh.
And that's also the very reason that Hitler killed himself, because he did all of the drugs in 2 countries. There was no more. He did it all. Like, you couldn't get any more. It was all gone. So he had to quit cold turkey. And if you've ever quit cold turkey from a drug like that, you'll understand why he put one between his eyes. He was calling other countries to have them send some to him, and they were out too. That's how bad it was. He had a guy driving all over the country, going to pharmacy after pharmacy to try to find some, and there was none left. They did it all. And all you need to do is look up Hitler at the 1930-something Olympics. It's the only time he went to the Olympics. So you'll find it very easily. And he is tweaking out right there on camera.
Bad.
Bad tweaking. Like rubbing his crotch with his pistol and rocking back and forth and his jaw going. It's bad.
Hey, look, you got a mask shadow.
I got a what?
A mask shadow.
A math shadow?
Mask.
A mask shadow.
Look at your throat, your neck.
Oh, I'm wearing a mask, a CIA mask. Look.
Oh, there it is.
Amazing. Is it really Jake?
No, it's a mask.
Why would he bother to do all of this and leave that open?
Or why would they not edit it out? That's hilarious. That's funny. I looked up and I was like, oh, you got a mask. Perfect example.
Amber asks Robert, are you a friend or a troll?
I think he's a friend of Judy's. Or Judy knows him.
He's been here before. Judy says, hey, Robert. And Robert says, what's up, Judy? Judy says, not much. How about you, Robert? And Robert says, nothing much. Amber says, smiley, smiley. Well, he's not a troll. I can tell you that. I've seen him before. And I didn't kick him out, so. Anyway, what we're laughing about is there was a guy that showed up on Fox News, and he had a shadow on his neck. And it kind of looked like he was wearing a mask. I mean, it's a very convincing video if you just glance at it, especially on a phone. It looks like he's wearing a mask and that it's sticking out of his shirt. But what it actually is the shadow from hard lighting and a digital camera in his face.
Similar to the one Jake has right now.
Similar to what I've got going on right here now. Makes me look like I got a turkey neck. I do not have a turkey neck. Maybe I do, a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
Kiss my ass.
Marcus spot, you're all ass. That's not going to help. It makes it look even worse. Now you got a double chin. That's funny.
Amber says, I see, but Judy's nice to everyone. She is that. Mark Massacre, welcome. We can't change the entire complexity of the world because of a few degenerates who ruin things for all of us. Dr. Mark from New York. Dr. Mark sounds like a moron with an ideology problem. Nobody's trying to change the entire complexity of the world, especially not me. Mark, welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself. This is a Politi-tics night. The whole point of the show is to say things controversial and argue and walk away as friends. So give it your best shot. What is it that you believe? And Judy says, hey, Mark. Anyway, I got quite a kick out of it because quite a few of the people that I listen to jumped on the bandwagon with this mask thing. I looked at it when it first showed up. A guy named the Guitarologist that I listen to works on amps and stuff. He's also a right-wing conspiracy guy. And I was listening to him, and he was talking about this guy wearing a mask, really just freaking out about the CIA putting masked people on the news. I looked at it, and I zoomed in on it real close, and I got face-to-face with the TV screen and looked at it for a good 30 minutes. And what I realized was the shadow of his chin and his collar on his shirt, because there's more than one light shining on him, and it just made a little crisscross right there. And it looks like a mask, but it's just a shadow. And the guy was Botoxed up, so his face was real smooth anyway, so it just was a bad look. But then I happened to notice 5 or 6 other people on the internet talking about this mask thing. Asmongold and Tim Pool and you name it, they're all out there talking about it. Benny Johnson. And I'm like, guys, it's a shadow.
You even ask Grok, put the picture on Grok and ask Grok, and he even tells you it's a shadow.
Yeah. You must have a really boring life if the shadow is what got you.
Right.
And that's got your conspiracy cackles all up in the air. You're not paying attention to the things that matter. There are things going on in the country that deserve a second look. That guy ain't one of them. Undoubtedly, he's there to promote propaganda, but he's not wearing a mask. So stop making up things to be upset about. Mark says the real sin and shameless. The real sin and shameless. We have these things because people want to get high. And I want to get high and unscrupulous taking advantage. I don't know what you're talking about there, Mark. What is shameless about sin? Sin's very shameful. I think you're using the wrong word there to describe the sin that you're trying to describe. We have these things because people wanted. What things are you referring to? People want to get high, that's true. And I want to get high, undoubtedly. The unscrupulous taking advantage, well, they always have. The unscrupulous are the people that take advantage. But it's up to high-witted people to stop the unscrupulous, which is what we're doing here. So I'm not sure what your point is, but it sounds impressive. Maybe you put some thought into it and just aren't that great at articulating it. Oh, I'm full of shit. Oh, I see. You are full of shit. Really? Considering I've said nothing so far, how am I full of shit? You sound like a drug addict. Well, I'm not. So I'm sorry you think that. Who knows so much? I do. I know much. But you're an addict. I'm not an addict. Dr. Mark from New York. Well,
there's your two problems.
Yeah.
One, you think you're a doctor, and two, you're from New York.
And three, I am actually a doctor, meaning I have a PhD and all of that stuff. Doesn't matter, though. And also four, or B, I am not a drug addict. I don't do drugs or drink alcohol. So you're wrong on all counts. It just goes to show you that your lane is in the Dunning-Kruger aisle. That's where you belong. And anybody with any common sense knows that, and you are a blowhard. So go enjoy your show. Mine's doing quite well. Kevin says it's the space people that were shot down. They have to wear masks. Yeah, because they're lizard people, right?
Right.
I didn't say I wouldn't argue back, Mark. I just said you could give it a shot.
He says,
well, you failed.
He says, I am a doctor from New York, and I am listening to your collapse of claptrap, and your mind is revealing the rest.
Except for the problem that you're listening to something that doesn't exist because I'm not an addict.
Right.
I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever. The only thing I'm addicted to is right here. And right here.
And me.
I'm not addicted to you. I do you because I want to. Amber says, reads like monkey dust. Monkey dude post. New profile, probably. And I don't care if you're a doctor in New York. New York is spiraling, so that doesn't say a lot to me.
Go run with your mandami mummy buddy. Yeah.
Debbie says, I saw a side-by-side comparison, and the mark or the mask/shadow has no facial wrinkles, and a previous picture of him shows the wrinkles. So if it's a shadow, then I need that Botox. Well, it is a shadow.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with wrinkles. It's a shadow, which means you can't see behind it. So the wrinkles are there. They're just behind a shadow. It is a shadow, I promise. I do it. Anybody's ever used more than one light source knows exactly what that is. Look, you can see it right here. This is the exact same effect. See how those two shadows right there converge? It's the exact same effect, only in a different direction on his face. If you look, you can see it. There's a light part of the shadow and a dark part of the shadow. See it? There, and over here. That's exactly what was happening under his chin.
That's because there's a light above him and a light to the side of him.
Right, on either side of him. And he was all Botoxed up.
Yes. But yes, we've analyzed the pictures and the side-by-sides and everything. That is totally not a mask.
Yeah. Thank you for your narcissistic revelation. I didn't give a revelation, Mark. I don't know what you're referring to. I think you're hearing things. I'm merely discussing what is evident. I have not given any revelations today. If you're talking about the mask, that's not a revelation. That's common sense. And if you don't have any, that's not my fault. Nugget says Keir Starmer is such a bell end. I don't know what a bell end is. You talking about a handle? He's unsanctioned. He's unsanctioning Russia for oil when we can drill ourselves. Well, that's the case here too, John. We have lots of oil in America. I don't know why we don't use it. The reason is because we don't have any refineries that can refine our own oil. Because oil comes in stages, and we can refine foreign oil, but we can't refine our oil because it's a different viscosity. Sounds to me like all they need to do is retool one of the refineries that we have, but maybe I don't know oil. Amber says, "You're welcome, Southern hospitality. We're friendly until." Debbie says, "Dr. Mark must have graduated at the bottom of the class. Perhaps a DEI hire."
Right.
Mark says, "Thank you, little Debbie. Bye. Bye. See ya. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you." That was a revelation. Amber says, "Debbie, hood, doc, like the trap." Can we make sentences that mean something? I don't know what that means. I don't speak your jigaboo language. What does hood doc like the trap mean? Sorry, my chat jumped. A lot. Oh, here we go.
942.
I got it. Debbie says, "I agree about the neck shadow, but the face is not wrinkled." That's true, is what I was referring to. Yeah, there's a conspiracy there. How did he get so smooth? Because that guy don't even have forehead wrinkles. He's like, everything's pulled back. He's so snatched, he's blinking his lips. There's the conspiracy there. You have no idea what my mind is revealing, Mark. That is such an arrogant statement. I wouldn't even know where to begin to dissect it. But let me assure you that you have no idea what is playing out in my brain. I promise.
Grow up, Mark.
Ask anybody that knows me. You don't, clearly. Nugget says, "Mark, adults only, right?" See, everybody else thinks you're a child. Sounds like it might be true.
Walks like a duck, acts like a duck. Must be a duck or a DEI hire.
Amber says, "Like ghetto doctor." Okay, I got you. A New York doctor. I'd love to see the pretty parts of New York. You'd have to go further north.
Right, because Ma'am Dommy done ruined New York.
If you want to see the pretty parts, go to the Catskills. That's where the pretty stuff is. Anything upstate New York. Nowhere near the city. Don't even think about going to Manhattan or the boroughs.
I saw a video yesterday where it was flooded out and there was nothing but trash bags floating everywhere because Ma'am Dommy ain't having the trash cleaned up. And he's making street food cookers legal again, where it's not they don't find people, that anybody can just randomly cook whatever they want on the street corner, and the homeless are all over the streets again, and all kinds of stuff.
But here's the thing, Amber. If you want to see pretty land, just go to West Virginia. You don't need to go to New York. There's nothing in New York, upstate, that isn't in West Virginia. Or go to Maine. Maine is beautiful also. And they have Amish people like the upstate New York does. Go up there and enjoy some Rumspringa. That's about the only chance you're ever going to have a 19-year-old to rock your world and then disappear. Debbie says, "Mark, you are Dr. Jill Biden doctor?" Or are you a Dr. Jill Biden doctor? In other words, not a doctor.
Right.
Like me, I'm not a doctor. I didn't go to medical school, but I do have a PhD. So, Dr. Jake, that is. If you're going to speak to me, speak properly. You only. Since you make a big deal of patting yourself on the back by breaking your own arm. Like upriver versus Seattle. Right on, Amber. Judy says northern Wisconsin is beautiful too. Oh, yeah. Some beautiful country out there.
Arizona is beautiful too. I have an aunt that lives in Sun Lake City, Arizona.
Yep.
And it's beautiful out there.
Yeah, but they don't have John Denver singing a song about Arizona.
No.
But West Virginia does.
Yeah.
Amber says all the major cities got flooded with the buses. Yep.
I'd say another little town that's beautiful, Hampton County, South Carolina.
Hampton County.
Hampton County, Hampton.
I've been there before.
Beautiful little place.
Well, the gazebo was anyway.
The whole thing was the courtyard, everything.
Amber says tent cities and such, so painfully sad. Not really. They need to get gone. I know that the instinct is to be sad, but those people chose to be where they are. And that is the problem with that city. The major one, anyway. West Virginia. It's the build-up for today's events, in my opinion, says Amber. What are today's events? What are you talking about? The flood, you mean? That happened in New York is the build-up for today's events? Oh, I'm pro-ICE? I got you. Now, what are we talking about exactly? I'm pro-ICE also. And rain. And fire. And wind. And earth. In fact, I never have a drink without ice in it.
Except for coffee.
Except for coffee. That's a different kind of drink. That's a hot drink. I never have a cold drink without ice in it. Debbie says, Dr. Jake, I do declare I got the vapors. Ever one and only time you'll hear me brag about it. I don't like it when people pretend to be things they're not. And in this case, it takes one to know one. And I are one. And I know he ain't one. John says, could do with ice hot here. Icy hot. Linda says, Amber, you can go see Bannerman's Castle in Fishkill, New York. That's upstate. I don't know what Bannerman's is, but sounds fun.
Sounds like a castle.
I do declare I got the vapors. Why I never. That's hilarious. Old Mark the doctor told me off. Got me good. I'm wounded. I won't sleep well tonight because he told me off. Hey, Mark. You ever feel insignificant? You should. Amber says the political things flood the major cities with illegals and try to get them the ability to vote. Oh, yeah. Well, there is a lot of that going on in a lot of places. Unfortunately. And to that I say, boy, come here, let me learn you something. You can't go around bringing in illegals and expecting them to vote. It's not going to go well for you. In the words of the late, great Foghorn Leghorn. Amber says, so many people and businesses are going broke because Trump can't be bought. nor the attempts of killing him or his family members. Correct. Get woke, go broke. That's how it works. And there are some people that are finally learning that lesson. Not many, but some.
And New York is learning the Mamdami the hard way. He's charging you a tax to move out of New York.
Yeah, socialism doesn't work.
Yeah, so if you want to leave New York, you got to pay a tax to move out of New York now.
And it's not like they didn't know, because people have been screaming from their rooftops for the last 20 years that socialism and communism always end in starvation and genocide. Always, 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 everywhere it has ever been tried. They know better, and they do it anyway. So let them have it. And when they go off the map, then we can rebuild. Amber says this November is going to be insane. Why? Because prices are so low?
With the midterms.
Mm-hmm. I don't think so. I think the GOP is going to win. The MAGA GOP. I don't know if you know this or not, but so far, Trump is a kingmaker when it comes to the GOP. Those he's backed has won, and those that he has not has lost. Ask Thomas Massey. That's right, Debbie. There's a reason the communes of the 70s failed. That's the reason they don't still exist. That's correct. It's a good idea on paper until you try to put it in practice, and then people are involved. And people are inherently greedy, and you can't beat that out of the hide, what's in the blood. And so it's only a matter of time before somebody tries to have power. And the only way to get that power is to take it from other people, because you set the stage for everybody to be equal. Well, that's not how societies work. They go stagnant and die if they're all equal. It is, in fact, struggle that makes us great. The more we struggle, the better we are. If we don't have anything to struggle against, we don't have anything to overcome, and then we go apoplectic. That's just the nature of humanity. So the best way to do that is to keep doing it the way we've been doing it and stop trying to change it. Says Dr. Jake. What a revelation. Kevin says you can't change human nature. Correct. And human nature has been set in stone since the beginning of time. And it seems like we're just now realizing that we can't change it. I don't know why that is. Seems like we'd have figured that out a long time ago. And we did. Several times. But then there's a new generation born, and they're stupid. And they have to learn too. So you can blame this on the parents of this generation that's up right now, because they didn't teach them that they're not special. Unfortunately, nobody ever smacked them down and said, you can't do that. Why? Well, because you can't play in the NBA because you're not 6 foot tall or black. You know, you can't run the country. Nobody told them they couldn't, so they did. Unfortunately, the word no does not exist in this vocabulary of this generation. If they'd have got their tail beat a few times and got forced into reality a few times and had parents that would let them fail, then they would have learned, but they didn't. Adversely, my parents let go when I was 11 years old because I wanted to move out. And so I did. And I failed a lot. I didn't fail completely, but I failed a lot. And because of that, I learned reality. There's things you can do and there's things you can't do. And my parents weren't helicopters. They didn't bail me out every time I got in trouble. So I learned right from wrong, good from bad, wise from stupid. This generation didn't have that luxury. Debbie says, I find it funny that the wealthy socialists of today don't even believe in it. If they did, they would be broke like the rest of us, and the broke socialists just want a handout. Yeah. It's awful funny that the people pushing socialism hang on to their money and don't share it, and their property and don't share it. You go ask any rich person to open up their home to some illegal migrants, the ones that they're voting for, and see how quickly they shut the door in your face. Like Martha's Vineyard. See how they panicked when the governor of Florida sent those migrants to their doorsteps? Or was it the governor of Texas? Yeah, the governor of Texas. He just put them on a bus and sent them right to Martha's Vineyard. They freaked out. They're the ones that were pushing for this. They're the ones that wanted the illegal immigrants in Texas. They didn't want them in Martha's Vineyard, though. Awful funny. Why don't you want them here, they said. Because it would drive down our property value. What do you think? Yeah, well, in Texas, too. So stop trying to make rules for people that aren't you. That's the big thing. Stop being a hypocrite. Amber says these people say walls don't work and have huge fences of their own yards. Yeah. And also support the wall in Israel because it works. Go to a college campus and try to talk about something that involves freedom of speech and see how fast they draw borders around you. They love borders, just not your borders. Insanity at its finest? Absolutely, Amber. Debbie says Martha's Vineyard was supposed to be a sanctuary city until people wanted sanctuary. Right. Same thing with New York. Remember the previous mayor of New York crying that we had to do something about all these immigrants? Well, you're the one that opened the door. Judy says, and have people with guns to protect them. Oh, yeah. John says, I had to ring the RSPCA today. My friend, the monk Jack, was in a poor way. You don't see them in daytime, so I gave him water and waited for them to turn up, and they took him. I don't know what a musk jack is, or a monk jack. I don't know what that is. I'm guessing some kind of monkey or a creepy crawly thing. Amber says, nugget prayers. My friend, the monk jack. I don't know what a monk jack is. Is that like a chipmunk? Remember, you guys have different names for things than we do. Nonetheless, I'm glad you were there to save them. Oh, it's like a deer. Okay.
Yeah, I was just fixing to say it looks like kind of like a deer.
It's a dwarf deer, says John. Okay.
Yeah.
And Judy says like a deer. Well, thank God you were there to protect it. Yeah, we have a word for those over here. We call them deer.
It's known as a barking deer,
Okay.
a small dog-sized deer.
I've seen them before. I know what he's talking about. I just didn't know what they were called. The cute little deers.
Yes. The size of a dog.
They have those in Florida in a certain place. I think they call them something else there, though. Pygmy deer or something like that. Cute little things. Little frail legs. Amber says it looks like a baby donkey to me, kinda. I think that's as big as they get, though.
Yeah, they're little.
It's just like a teacup chihuahua, but a deer. We have elephants like that, too, somewhere. On an island. Little tiny elephants, which are adorable, as you could imagine. Just goes to show you that things work different in different places. just like we got kangaroos in Australia but nowhere else. That's a product of the flood. That's where they were. And that's where they stayed. It was wobbling on a busy road, so I stopped traffic. Nice. Way to go, John. Savior. I appreciate you looking out for the little animal. Must have been a heat stroke. Didn't you say you guys were having a heat wave? Probably couldn't find any water to drink. Separated from its herd or whatever. Judy says, that was so nice, Nugget. It was very nice. Very, very manly. I'm afraid I would be eating it right now. Amber says, how do you think Trump is going to respond to the attack on his family member? Bigly. I think he should.
He shut down the White House and everything.
Yeah, he's canceled all his plans for the weekend and called everybody back to the office. So they're not even going to take a Memorial Day weekend, so they're on it. I don't know what he's going to do, but it's going to be big, I would imagine.
Yeah, he's not happy. His firstborn and at her wedding? Yeah, no. He's not happy.
And John says, yes, Jake, heat stroke. I figured. Good on you. Did you get it some water? Amber says, I think he's about to blow someone off the map. That wouldn't surprise me. I did see a headline just before I came on that Trump won the war and was declaring it this weekend, so I don't know. I haven't had time to look into it to see what the reasoning for that was.
No, we slept instead.
But I would imagine he's getting ready to press the big red button, if you know what I mean.
He's going to get him a Diet Coke and press the button.
I don't blame him. You don't mess with a man's kids. I don't think a single American would blame him for that. Amber says the attacks to him directly have had consequences. My mind has been running with the thought of his own. Right. Well, the attacks on him directly, he just let roll off his back. Yes, they had consequences, but other people responded. He didn't. This is his children. I would imagine he's gonna come out and say that's off limits. I would imagine.
Yeah, there was a threat on Ivanka and the grandchildren. Talking about kidnapping his grandchildren and stuff. But I think it's Ivanka, it was Ivanka that was getting married in Hawaii this weekend.
Maybe. One of his kids is.
Yeah, somebody was getting married in Hawaii this weekend, and I think another one was graduating or something was happening with another one.
Linda says, I saw that the airspace over Iran has all been diverted.
Yeah.
That's a sign. It wouldn't surprise me if they didn't bomb the shit out of them. Judy says Junior's getting married this weekend. Donald Trump Jr.
Yeah, I knew one of them was.
Which one is he married to or marrying? That's he's dating Guilfoyle, right? Kimberly Guilfoyle?
I think so.
Amber says someone is getting blown off the map. Well, you don't mess with a man's kids. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, you don't mess with his kids, and you damn sure don't mess with his grandkids.
Debbie says, I read that Don Jr. got married in Florida, and the trip was just a wedding celebration. It's possible.
I don't know. I heard something about Hawaii.
Amber says, yes, she left Fox News to be with him. Yes, I remember that. So they're finally tying the knot. Gonna have little Guilfoyle babies running everywhere. Yeah, you want to know what kind of person a person is? Just look at their kids. Look at Joe Biden's kids and look at Trump's kids and see the difference.
Right.
They're going to hit the drone factory, says John. It wouldn't surprise me. Amber says that's when the beans started pouring out, draining the swamp. He's marrying Beltina Anderson. He married Beltina Anderson, says Judy. Well, that's not Kimberly Guilfoyle. Kim was the news about the crap. Okay. So he's not marrying Kimberly Guilfoyle? I didn't even know they broke up. Shows how much I follow him, I guess. They broke up a while ago, Jake. Okay, well, I missed it. I didn't know that. Well, good on Donald Trump Jr. then. Welcome, Bettina Anderson. Trump. That does say Beltina, doesn't it? Or Bettina.
Bettina, Bettina.
All right. Yeah, I didn't even know he was dating another girl. Shows how much I pay attention. I'm still waiting on Barron Trump to start marrying that princess he was seen with last weekend. That was kind of cute. Him dating a princess from England. Go Trump. He's going to make one hell of a man one day when he finally comes out. It is my understanding that he had a large part in Trump winning his election because he's the one that did all of the campaign involving podcasts.
Yep, and social media. Yeah,
all the social media stuff. That he's the one that did all that. Kimberly dated him long enough to never have to work again. Looked good for both of them. All right, says Amber. Well, I don't know how dating him could make her not have to work again. He don't have to pay for a date. He don't have to pay her alimony or nothing. I guess she could sell stories about him.
Probably just the fact that dating her guy hasn't got her name out there.
John says the Labor Party are at war over the infighting to get Keir Starmer out of 10 Downing Street. Yeah, he needs to be gone. The Labor Party, that's y'all's right wing, right? Debbie says Florida marriage license obtained by people reveals the couple already quietly got married in West Palm Beach Thursday, May 21st. Well, I can understand why.
Yeah, well, they must have just been having a wedding party or something in Hawaii.
Like the what do you call that after a wedding?
Reception.
Amber says Fox paid out to her, especially because she left for Trump Jr. Oh, it's the left. The Labor Party's the left. Okay. So what's the right? And John says, I am right wing. Yeah, I know you are. But what does that mean? Like, your right wing is different than my right wing. Not in a bad way, it's just different politics. So left wing means Labor Party. What does right wing mean? Because you would think union is labor. Yeah, lefts are like liberals. I got it. I just didn't know what it stood for in England. What the politics are based on. Yeah, the right wing's like us. I got that. But what do they stand for? What are the politics that they imbibe?
Like, we got Democrat and Republican. What are y'all's?
Well, Democrats are for immigration and sanctuary cities and DEI and all of that. And right wing is for freedom of speech and self-sovereignty and small government and things like that. What are the differences in your country? That's all I'm asking. I know it's a big ask. Pardon? Quiet on the set. Dead air. Can't have it. Say something.
Something. I'm waiting for the answer, too. I'm waiting.
That's what I just realized I wasn't talking. Waiting on the answer. John says, get rid of this trans BS. Being a patriot to Britain and not communist.
Okay.
Right. So you're for self-sovereignty and identity of the state and that sort of thing. Like a nationalist. A patriot. Somebody that believes in your country. I got it. Same thing with us. There are different kinds of Republicans, and some of them even go as far as to espousing Democrat talking points. They would call those rhinos, Republican in name only. But most of us are just, we want to be the country that we started out being. They say that the party switched at some point, but they didn't. The Overton window moved. What's deemed acceptable moved. That's it. Like you do, but not far right. Right, I'm not far right either. I'm a conservative, but not a Republican. If that makes any sense. The Republicans have let me down too.
Yeah, right.
I guess if I had to pick an ideology, it would be Christian conservative, nationalist. Debbie says, I want the Democrats and those they support to stop trying to kill the rest of us. Me too. That would be a good start. I want people to stop believing in lies and start focusing on reality. That would be a good start. There's a lot of lies going on these days, and people have made up rules to live by without any understanding of what those rules mean. And now they're trying to push it as if that's the way it's always been, and it hasn't always been that way. The only reason things are the way they are is because somebody made a decision that's the way it is. These are not rules that are set in stone. But unfortunately, we got some people out there that want to push the narrative and push these rules on the rest of us. And the rest of us don't want to live like that or by those circumstances. Christianity's coming back to Britain at last, says John. Thank God for that. We need some of that. Debbie says, I am a constitutionalist that believes we need social programs, not socialism, and they are two different things. Yes, they are. I'm a constitutionalist as well. I think that the documents are what founded this country and made it a superpower, and I think we ought to adhere to it by the letter. And I don't think that we should allow people to dissent and talk about, well, it's an old document. We needed to modernize it. No, we don't. They took all of that into consideration when they wrote it. Well, they weren't talking about automatic weapons when they wrote the Second Amendment. They weren't talking about the internet when they wrote the first, but they assumed that progress would happen. Debbie says, but since constitutionalist isn't a party, I lean Republic. Amen. Well, I lean to the Republic for which I stand, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I believe in that. A big unprofessional yawn on national television.
I did that a minute ago, too.
Yeah, but you don't have a camera in your face.
You could have ducked off.
I could have, but it was too good. It took me by surprise, and I just couldn't stop. It was too good. Yeah, it seems like all of the problems we have are in the Pledge of Allegiance, if you just say it out loud one time. Bill Bennett's here. He says, hello, guys. Happy Memorial Weekend. Happy Memorial Weekend to you, too, sir.
Hamburger helper hand, Bill.
Have a memorial built in your honor. All right, now.
Come to get you, huh?
Yeah. Judy says, hey, Bill. John says, since Tommy Robinson has been doing these rallies, Christianity has gone up 50%. Amen. And I think the whole world needs that, John. It really does. And thank God for that. Send them to Untethered Live if you see them. Be our English representative over there. You're going to those rallies, right? Drop a name. Debbie says, damn, I think I saw a tiny bit of pizza in the back of your throat. Yeah. Here comes another one.
The yawn monster done got him.
Bill says, you're tired, Jake. That's contagious. You're tired, Jake. That's contagious. It is contagious. If you're weak-willed.
I don't know how he can be tired. Well, yeah, I do, but I mean, I'll let him get a nap.
Amber says, good evening, Bill. I'm just yawning. I'm not tired. I think whatever Tommy Robinson is doing is a good thing. Keep in mind, I stopped following him when he went to jail because he didn't do anything else for a while. I was listening to him back then, but excuse me, I got to think he's doing the same thing still. I don't think he's changed that much. And I support that. Bill says, I'm tired and I slept till 10:30 today. LOL, it's contagious, right? John says, I went to the same school as Tommy. Excellent. Well, England's a small place, isn't it? Seems like you would do that. Stop it. That's why it's happening. I can hear you yawning. Debbie says, damn it, Amanda, give the boy some peanut butter next time. He needs more protein. I need some.
Maybe I'll just stop at once and twice instead of 5 or 6.
Right? Yeah, the last time I listened to Tommy Robinson, he was hanging out with Owen Benjamin. That'll give you an idea how long ago that was. And I saw Owen Benjamin last week on Tucker Carlson, and I haven't heard from him in 5 years. Apparently, he's still out there doing the thing he's always done. He got quite infamous there for a little while. He got kicked off of everything, even PayPal, just for telling the truth. And oddly enough, still kicked off everything. He's a voice that's too dangerous. They won't let him come back. Like Alex Jones.
They're going to end up doing that with Nick Shirley.
Oh, yeah. They're already trying. Too dangerous. He exposed the truth in a way they can't get away from it. It's all right if you expose the truth and they can just dismiss you. But if you do it in a way they can't get away from it, they will kill you if they can't get rid of you. Elon Musk did a video at the rally as well, says John. Nice. Yeah, Elon Musk seems to know where his bread's buttered at. I don't think he buys into it as much as everybody else does. I don't think he's some right-wing conservative. I think he's a Democrat. I just think he knows where the popularity is going, and he wants to keep money coming in, which is fine with me. And the Democrats dissing Tulsi, says Debbie, is disgusting too. It's almost like Democrats don't understand how to love others instead of themselves. Exactly. They're all for women until a woman stands against them, and then they'll shut them down. Whatever happened to believe all women? Women power. Just because she chose to be a conservative? Now listen, Tulsi Gabbard stepped down from the DNI this week. And there's all kinds of rumors spreading about why she may have done so. But here's the truth. Her husband got diagnosed with cancer, and she left to be with him in his final days. Or what may be his final days. That's the reason she stepped down. Nothing that she did or that Trump did or anything like that. So when those rumors start, see through them. Did you see the space rocket go off, says John. I've seen several of them. Which one are you referring to? The space rocket? I think all rockets are space rockets. If they're not space rockets, they're called missiles. But I think I did see it, yeah. The one the other day, yeah, I saw it. There was a big thing in the sky. People were taking pictures of it. Or rather, I had a phone shoved in my face at 5 o'clock in the morning and said, look at this. And it was a rocket going off. Debbie says, that's what I meant, Jake, about Tulsi. Yeah. Yeah, Tulsi's a good girl. I like what she stands for, and I think she did a good job in her post, but she's choosing family over that, so I don't blame her.
I like most everything about her except for the fact that she's pro late-term abortion.
Well, she was.
Well, last I heard, she still is.
You got to remember, though, she was a Democrat from the get-go and didn't know any better until she got to Washington and started seeing the cracks. And when she saw the cracks, she left the Democrat Party and moved to Republicans. So you can't blame her for what she understood to be the truth before she saw the light. That's all I'm saying. She came from Hawaii, which is a complete Democrat state. There are no Republicans in Hawaii that I'm aware of. And so she wouldn't have known any better. She would have thought everything sounded like the truth. Until she got over here and started seeing how they treated people and how they dissed people that wanted to ask questions. And then she quickly found herself on the outs with Hillary Clinton, and that's what led her to being a Republican. So I would imagine there's a few of her beliefs that have to be challenged yet. To give her time. She's like Joe Rogan. He's on his path. He hadn't got there yet, but he's on the path to the right side. He is going to church now. He is believing in God now, as opposed to 5 years ago when he was mocking God. That's an improvement. And Joe's a good man. He just has to find his way to God. That's all. John says, she's seen through the BS. Yes. Debbie says, and the Democrats telling everyone that Trump doesn't think about Americans. Any American that's ever heard Trump talk knows better than to hear that. That's all he talks about is America. He loves Americans. He loves business. He loves freedom. Or at least he purports to, anyway. He's a good salesman for it, whether he believes it or not. Also, remember, Trump was a Democrat his entire life, too. I suspect that's all about money, though. Being at the right place at the right time.
I can't get over Fetterman.
Yeah, Fetterman switching.
Fetterman said, I'm sick and tired of y'all Democrats.
I don't know if he's officially become a Republican or not, but he's not far from it.
Oh, yeah, he's done. He said he is done with the left.
There you go.
He don't want no part of none of that. He said y'all are ruining everything that he believed that they stood for, and he's tired of it.
Well, just like the right, there's different kinds of lefts.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, the dominant kind at the moment are the radical left-wing liberals, the leftists. They have taken over from the classical liberals from the day that I grew up in, the Dixiecrats, you know, which I like Bill Maher is a Dixiecrat type. He's an old school liberal. Dave Rubin is an old school liberal. Joe Rogan's an old school liberal. And pretty much all the people I listen to are old school liberals turned conservatives. I don't even listen to a lot of conservative voices. There are a few, but most of them are turncoats because they more identify with where I'm at. And it's kind of amazing to me. Like I said, it wasn't that the parties didn't change. The Overton window moved. If you don't know what the Overton window is, look it up. I don't know how to describe it to you. I know what it means, but I don't have a definition in mind. In fact, I could probably look it up. Let me do that. I'll look it up for you so that you know. The Overton window is the range of policies and ideas that the public finds politically acceptable at any given time. If an idea falls inside the window, politicians can support it without being seen as extreme. Ideas outside the window are considered too radical or unthinkable. Named after the American policy analyst Joseph Overton, the concept is often broken down into 6 stages of political acceptance, ranging from unthinkable to policy. Unthinkable, completely outside societal norms, considered to be radical to discuss. The next one would be radical, debated by activists but not yet part of mainstream debate. The next would be acceptable, begins to enter mainstream discussion as a reasonable idea. The next would be sensible, widely recognized as a rational or logical opinion. The next would be popular, supported by a significant majority of the public. And the last would be policy, enacted into law or adopted as standard government practice. That's how the window works. And when it shifts, things become acceptable that weren't acceptable before, and things that were acceptable fall out of acceptance. So that's what I'm talking about when I say the Overton window. It moved. Policies didn't move. The political parties didn't move. The Overton window did. Amber says he's an American. He's not even taking pay to do it. Drain the swamp. That's true. John says, you got to get into bed with the enemy sometimes to get what you want. That's true also. Sometimes you have to go down the middle of the aisle. Play both sides. A good negotiation is where everybody walks away from the table satisfied but not happy. Nobody gets what they want, but everybody gets something they can agree to. That's a good negotiation. Bill Bennett says, Jesus is the only way. Our here is only one right, one truth. True. But that supersedes what we're talking about. Right now we're talking about politics. Religion is tomorrow. Debbie says, a reporter asked Trump about Iran. His full answer was, I don't think about Americans. I don't think about anyone. I just think Iran cannot have nuclear weapons. But the Democrats are only telling part of it, like always. Yes. Yeah, that was called shorthand speaking. Nobody thinks he meant he don't think about Americans. He was answering the question about nuclear weapons. Bill says, my brains sounded different than what I was trying to say, LOL. Just listen. Amber says, okay, insulin and seizure meds time. Good night, friends. Good night, Amber. John says, good night, Amber.
You're not Amber.
Bill says, right and left, right and wrong. Ha. Same thing as religion. No. I guess secular religion, yes. But what I teach is a little different than that. I teach truth, which is right. And it's not a religion. But there are religions out there, and you are correct in that. It's kind of hard to talk about it without using the word religion, though. And Judy says, good night, Amber. John says, Trump uses tactical and weapons not full. I don't know. Trump used tactical and weapon not full. What do you mean? Be more specific. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Nuclear weapons. Right. He's using tactical weapons, not nuclear weapons. Got it. Debbie says, compromise. I am pro-life and think abortion is murder, but I will go along with abortion up to 8 weeks just to end the debate and get over it and stop all late-term abortions. I hear you. I think it's murder also. Furthermore, I think it's sacrificing the baby for the good of the parent, which means Moloch worship. And I'm against it. But there are circumstances where it's necessary, and I understand that. Getting where I can't breathe again. Bill Bennett says, just like politics, my feelings on the Bible and Jesus makes me feel right-leaning conservative. Amen. Selfish as hell a lot of times. I understand that, Bill. I try to learn from what the Bible says and know that I didn't start this world out knowing everything, so I have to figure out where I stand and what I gain from learning from what the Bible says. On abortion, you're selfish as hell a lot of times on the abortion. I got you. WSGUNC says observable counter. Welcome. I don't know what any of that means.
What's good?
I know what University of North Carolina is. That's where I'm at.
That's supposed to be something. I think what's good, Unc.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm not your uncle. Ask your mother. Spoken like a true child. So this isn't the place you should be, probably. But you're welcome here if you can carry on a conversation. And Bill says, or a bot, probably. We do get a lot of those here.
On our little 10-man chat.
Somebody hasn't been looking at the numbers.
Oh, I have.
He hasn't. Monkey Juice hasn't.
Yeah, no.
If that's what he thinks. That's 10 to 12 people within the space of 2 hours. There are a lot of people that watch this show that never come to the live stream. Bill says your channel is censored. The truth has to be silenced. I agree. It is that. And that's evident by the lack of newcomers. That's just not how bell curves work. If it were truly the algorithm spreading out equal people to everybody, then at least there would be some growth. But it isn't happening. And I'm getting ready to confront YouTube about it. Debbie says less than 2% of all abortions are because of rape, incest, or health of the mother. All others is a form of birth control, and that's wrong. I agree. I agree. It's less than 2%. Yeah. %99 of it is birth control.
Yeah, I don't believe in them either, and I felt so bad when I had to have an emergency DNC. I was like, oh man, that was the worst feeling ever there, just knowing what they were going to go do.
Bill says you should have millions watching, but maybe you was only meant to talk to a few. Correct, which is why I roll with it. It's why. Well, number one, you got to understand, I don't promote the show. I don't push it out. I'm not trying to make it bigger because that's not why I do it. I do it because God told me to. So I'm doing what I'm told. If he wants it to grow, he will make it grow. It's his channel. It's not mine. I'm just a speaker. I don't go out and try to push this thing. I don't go try to manipulate the algorithm or get it to pay attention to me or anything like that. I don't do any of that stuff. That's the reason. I've tried and no one listens. That's fine. I understand. And it's quite all right. I'll take it however it comes. 10 people or 10 million people, it don't matter to me. I'm capable of doing all those things. I'm just not going to try to make it happen because it ain't about me. If it were about me, then I would go sell myself, but it ain't about me. John says, they're changing the law in Britain. You can have an abortion right up until you give birth. It's sick as F.
Yeah.
Right? They're doing it here too.
That's what they're calling the late-term abortions.
Yep. I don't think you should do that by the time the child has started developing fingers. I think there's a window when it's acceptable, and it's right at the beginning.
I don't think it's acceptable at all. There's too many people out there wanting to adopt a baby that can't have babies.
I agree with that. I obviously don't have a statement in this because I'm not female, but my opinion is that a life is formed at conception. That's what the Bible says, and that's what is observed in science.
Mm-hmm.
So anything beyond conception is murder. Although there are reasons to have an abortion threatening the mother's life or the baby's life or something like that. I'll leave that up to a skilled doctor to make that decision. But barring that, you shouldn't do it. If you're pregnant because of something that was unfortunate, you can't blame the baby for that.
And now these people doing all these genetic testing, talking about, oh, the baby won't have this colored eyes or this colored hair or this. No, that's not a reason to have an abortion either.
That's right.
That's sickening.
Debbie says, I realize not everyone thinks as I do or believes as I do. And that is the only reason for the compromise at 8 weeks, because that is what Roe v. Wade stated, and that worked. You do realize that the woman that was involved in that recanted everything she said and turned to Christianity, right? Yeah. She now has several children and loves all of them. Also, I don't think she ever had an abortion. Bill Bennett says, might be only talking to one. Thank you, Jake. You're the man. I really enjoy the show when I can be here. Well, I enjoy having you, Bill, and thank you. And if I'm only talking to one, then that's enough. That's enough. And Judy says, that's sick, Nugget. John says, embryo. That's it. Yep, embryo. Embryo? I don't know. All right. It is 10:43, and I'm going to go back to bed now. Thank you all for being here. I've enjoyed the show immensely. I hope you have too. Like, subscribe, share, support, join, feed Jake if you can. Let me leave you with a song. That's the wrong button. Here's the right button. Enjoy this. Yeah.
Julie was a girl just turned 17, but she had problems at home. She made good grades, the girl was the prom queen, but she couldn't wait to be grown. Late one night she snuck out to the sand pits where they rode motorcycles till dawn. Johnny came by flashing his pretty brown eyes and said, Julie, you know you wanna get on. Johnny was a boy who worked real hard, but he had problems at home. See, his daddy got drunk and his mama got mean, but Johnny just wanted to be gone. Johnny spent his paycheck and bought a Walmart ring, and when he saw Julie that night, he said, girl, did you ever want to be my wife? And she said, boy, I hope this is right.
Everybody sing.
Julie and Johnny got married. They got a baby on the way. If he can sell enough dope to keep them afloat, they might just make it okay. Julie and Johnny got married, and on that perilous night, from a broken home to a mortgage loan, and all they do is fight.
Yeah. There you go. It's a little Julie and Johnny for you. It's a good song. Linda Davis says good night all. Amanda says,
And nighters all see you tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Untethered Live for Bible study. Much love, y'all.
and Bible study's back on tomorrow night, so be here.
Yep, Bible study's back on.
Judy says, is this your song too, Jake? Yes, ma'am. Yes, it is. It's not me singing, but it is my song. I did write it. Debbie says, dancing half naked and singing. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. Judy says, LOL, Debbie. Bill Bennett says, good night, Untethered Live fam. Jamming out. Right on. All right, that's it. I'm out. Thank you for watching. I love you guys. See you tomorrow night.
Good night, everybody.